Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. Hope everything's good at your end. Guys, got developed a little bit of a sore throat, bit under the weather, but these things happen. I hope you guys are well. Keep safe, especially if you're here in the UK. Things are starting to get really bad again. I know that the variant is not great, and cases are surging at the minute. So just be careful, stay safe, wear your mask when you go out, and take care of yourself. Guys, smash the like button on this video, all that good stuff. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video. I really appreciate your support as always. As I always say to you guys, that I thank you very much for the support. I couldn't be where I am on YouTube without you guys. So, I thank you a lot. You guys have helped me grow my channel. You supported my channel over the years. So I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the support. I really appreciate you guys getting behind my channel, and supporting me and smashing the like button. Like, all my videos now get a substantial amount of likes, which never used to be the case. And that's because of you guys. You guys, listening to what I'm saying and helping me out and smashing the like button. And that only helps my channel grow. So like I said, thank you very much. I feel like I've got a hardcore fan base now that watch me and enjoy watching me. And it really means a lot, and hopefully one day we'll grow massive. I feel like I've conquered and understand how to promote a little bit better, how to get my videos out a little bit better on different social platforms. So it really helps. But if you guys can do the same, share my videos on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever, it really mean a lot to me, because obviously it'll help me grow. But enough of that. Let's get into the video, guys. Amir Khan v Kell Brook sells out in 10 minutes. Wow. This is unbelievable. Now, a lot of people, when this fight got made, said, "Oh, we're not interested. We don't want to watch it. It's two guys washed up. It's two guys past their best. These guys are finished. It's going to be a terrible fight. It's going to be an undercard fight. It's this, that, and the other." This fight got thrown so many abuse at. This fight got got thrown so much abuse at, because of the fact that people thought this fight would have been massive 6 years ago. It is massive right now. And I told you guys, I think you are underestimating how much the interest would be in this fight, because it's a rivalry that's been going on for over 10 years. 10 years. So I think you're underestimating how big this fight would be. And don't get me wrong, as an Amir Khan fan, I'm really nervous. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Like, there's butterflies in my stomach. Like, I really want him to win this fight. And I'm pretty sure the Kell Brook fans really want Kell Brook to win, because there's been a lot of beef, like, online about this fight between the Khan fans and the Brook fans. The Brook fans saying this, that, and the other. The Khan fans saying this, that, and the other. So there's been a lot of back and forth between the two set of fans. And neither of their fans want their fighters to lose, which is always great, because it makes there's a lot of emotion in this fight. There's a lot on the line for both guys. So I think that will bring out the best in both guys. But all those people that were talking negative about this fight, saying this fight wouldn't sell, it sold out in 10 minutes. The demand for the fight is crazy. And I actually think they missed a trick. I actually think what they should have done is both of them should have had like a fight in between. And now some people may say that's a silly thing to do. They're both past the best. They could lose. Have a takeover fight. Have a fight which, you're not going to lose. Like, Amir Khan could have fought like Niraj Goyat or something in Saudi Arabia. Kell Brook could have fought somebody. And then they probably should have done a massive showdown in the summer, probably at Old Trafford or something, because I think it would have sold out. I think a lot of the people, a lot of the hardcore fans are upset because they know the history. Now, the problem is, like, with the casuals, they don't know so much the history. They just want to go to a fight because, especially Amir Khan has got a huge name. And Kell Brook, I'm not going to say he's a superstar or he's a global name or nothing. He's not. But he's still a well-respected name in the sport of boxing. So I think it makes for a very, very interesting, event. And I personally think that a lot of the hardcore fans underestimated how big this fight was. They underestimated it. They underestimated it. And it's the fact that it sold out in 10 seconds. And I actually think the people organizing underestimated it. I don't think they thought it'd be as big as what it's turned out to be. That's just my honest opinion. I don't think they even thought it'd be this big. I don't think they thought it'd get the response that it has. Hence why they did it at 20,000. If they probably knew the response that they were going to get, they probably would have done it at 50, 60,000, because I think that would have sold. Apparently, there was rumors that there was 100,000 or 120 signups. You know, and Eddie Hearn was bashing the fight. It's not as big as what it wants. But what I will say is this. Imagine if this fight had happened 5, 6 years ago. Imagine what it would have done. It would have been crazy. It would have been crazy. And it wouldn't have been at the O2 Arena. I think the reason why they did it at the O2 Arena is probably because of the fact that they thought that, you know, the fight wouldn't be as big, and they knew that they'd be able to sell the O2 Arena. But after seeing the interest and after seeing how big the fight is, they probably think a bigger. I don't think, is there a bigger arena than the O2? Probably is. I'm not sure. But I think this was a fight that probably could have done in a stadium, and I would have loved to see Amir Khan fight in a big stadium. Like they could have done it in Old Trafford, or they could have done it in Bolton Wanderers. I don't know whether Kell would have wanted it at Bolton Wanderers, but they could have done it in a Manchester. They could have done it in in Etihad Stadium, or they could have done it in Old Trafford. You know, I'm pretty sure they could have. They would have sold out. They would have 100% sold out easily. It was a massive fight, and I think there was a trick missed there, just because I think nobody was aware of how big the fight would be. Now, the great outcome for the two boxers would probably be if it turns out to be a cracker, and then they can do another fight again in a stadium in the summer, because February they'll both be good to go again in September, so they could do another fight. Especially if it's a great fight where like both guys, if it's a one-sided fight either way, then, you know, it's going to be hard to sell a second fight, you know. But if it's a good fight and it's a cracker, I think the rematch would make big money, and they could probably do that in a stadium if the fight's big. You know, if the fight's great, like a Carl Froch, George Groves. If it turns out to be something like that, or it's a controversial finish, or maybe it went to points and it's not so much. It's a controversial scorecards. They could probably do the fight again, if I'm honest with you, and they'd make even more money. So yeah, I think they probably did it at the O2 Arena because they didn't know how big it was. But like I always said, that this fight would be massive no matter when it happens. And I think the fact that it sold out in 10 minutes tells you how big this fight was. Unfortunately, it, I think people underestimated, the hardcore boxing fans underestimated how big this fight was. Now, one thing I'm going to say as well is that whenever Amir Khan fights, it's a big event. Whenever Amir Khan takes part, because Amir Khan in this country is a superstar. Like Simon Jordan hit the nail on the head, that Amir Khan is a superstar in this country. He's a massive name. Kell Brook isn't a superstar. He's known in the boxing fraternity, but as Simon Jordan, I watched his interview when this fight was talking about, because Khan's a superstar. He gets a lot of bums on seats. He gets a lot of people attracted to him, and he basically was saying Khan's also a lot more exciting to watch than Kell Brook, which he is. He's a lot more he's vulnerable, which makes him more exciting. Also, his offensive ability is a lot more exciting to watch. His fast hands. Generally, if you look at people that have really fast hands, they're quite exciting to watch. They're quite pleasing to the eye. Amir Khan's a lot more pleasing to the eye than Kell Brook. Also, Amir Khan's got that it factor. You know, he's a star, whereas Brook, he hasn't got what Amir Khan's got, that star appeal. Now, of course, the fact that Amir Khan's got a huge fan base helps him, but regardless, I still think that he's a bigger star than Kell Brook. I think Kell Brook's a good fighter, and he's done well. But as Simon Jordan said, Khan has that it factor. Amir Khan's one of the biggest sporting names in this country. And in UK, if I'm honest with you, if you're from the UK, you know what I'm talking about. Amir Khan's somebody that's known all over, no matter what city you go in England, everybody knows you. There'll be people casual people that don't watch boxing that know who Amir. I've got friends that don't have a clue about boxing. They don't watch boxing. They're not interested in it. They all know who Amir Khan is. But if I was to ask them about Kell Brook, they don't. I remember when asking one of my mates about, oh, that's, Kell Brook. And he's like, who's Kell Brook? Because Kell Brook doesn't have that name, that appeal that Amir Khan has. So whenever there's an Amir Khan fight, there's going to be a lot of attention because a lot of the casuals will tune in. The same with Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. For example, my friends know who Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury is. They know who Amir Khan is. But these are probably three of the biggest names. Obviously, those two are heavyweights. So naturally, heavyweights get a lot more coverage. They get a lot, they're a lot more famous. But definitely Khan in the lighter weights, there's probably not been a fighter that's been as famous as him. Maybe Ricky Hatton back in the day, he was massive. But the reason why Ricky Hatton was big and the reason why Amir Khan's big is both of these guys have huge fan bases. Ricky Hatton had a huge fan, but Ricky Hatton's fan base was crazy because Ricky Hatton's fan base actually used to follow him all over the world, or when I say all over the world, to America, when he took so many fans over. So Ricky Hatton had a crazy fan base, which has never been done. Like, no one's going to take over that many fans like Ricky Hatton did. Amir Khan just has a huge fan base, not just in the UK, supported by, the Asian community, but he also has, Pakistan and that they tune in as well, because he has support there. And that's a massive country. Asia's massive. And there's, like I said, there's a huge community here in the UK as well, and all over the UK. So he has a huge fan base. That's why I think this fight is massive. And let's not forget, it's not just all Amir Khan here. There's a rivalry here, and Kell Brook brings a lot to the table as well. Because if Amir Khan was to fight somebody else, the fight wouldn't, like when Amir Khan fought Phil LaGreco, he sold out the Liverpool stadium. But it's not as big as the Kell Brook fight. So that means Kell Brook obviously brings a lot to the table as well. There's a rivalry there. So Kell Brook's bringing a lot to the table. And I think most importantly to the hardcore fans, I think the reason why this fight is great, it's a 50-50 fight. When you think about it, no one really knows deep down who's going to win. I know when people are saying, oh, Kell Brook's going to smack him, or Kell Brook's going to knock him out, or Amir Khan, a lot of them are saying because that's what they want to happen. Like, if you look at my breakdown, I'm trying to be as neutral as possible. I don't really know who's going to win this fight because firstly, I don't know where they're at. Kell's had injuries in his eyes, injury to his eyes. Amir Khan's not fought for 2-3 years, and we know he's vulnerable. He can be hurt. So I don't really know. I don't really know what's going to happen in this fight. And that's what makes it intriguing. That's what makes it a great spectacle, because although it's both guys past their best, it's two guys that you don't know where they're at. It's two guys, you don't know who's going to win. It makes it very intriguing because we genuinely don't know who's going to win this fight. And that makes it compelling viewing. That makes it great to watch because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to come out on top. And that's always must-watch TV. As Dominic Ingle said, car crash TV, you don't know what's going to happen. He doesn't know what's going to happen. He's not that confident. And he's Kell Brook's trainer. He's not really confident in Kell. Yeah, obviously he's going to say, yeah, Kell Brook's going to win. But if you look at his body language, before when Kell was in his prime, he was quite confident of, him beating Errol Spence and this, that, and the other. You could tell. But now he's not, because he knows where Kell Brook's at. He knows that anything's possible. So I think there's more like wear and tear on Kell Brook, but Amir Khan's been very inactive, and there's always that vulnerability about Amir Khan. So, and Kell Brook in that fight against Crawford, what he's going to have to, not change, but what he's going to have to get out of is the fact that he was very gun-shy against Crawford. Is that going to be the same here? Is he going to be worried about letting his hands go? Because he needs to let some power shots go. If he doesn't let any power shots go, then you're not going to knock Amir Khan out with a jab, is he? He's going to have to let his right hand go. And the thing is that the way Kell Brook throws his punches, it might suit Amir Khan, because Kell Brook likes to throw straight punches. Whereas if you look at the shots that really give Amir Khan a lot of trouble, they're looping shots. Kell Brook doesn't really throw a lot of looping shots like that, like wild looping shots. He's a very technical fighter that throws a lot of straight right hands. His right hands are thrown very straight. I think the shots that give Amir Khan a lot of trouble are the looping shots that you don't really see coming. You don't really see him coming, and he gets caught, and he's like, where's that come from? And it wobbles him. I think he takes the punches a lot better. And generally, most fighters take the punches a lot better when you see them coming. And Kell normally likes to throw a lot of straight punches, but we'll see. Like I said, at this point, I'm talking about Khan in his prime. You know, at this point, any shot might hurt either of them, you know. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But the fight sold out in 10 minutes, guys. It's a big fight. You know, stop saying that the fight's not this, that, and the other. It's a big fight. Hence why so many people are tuning in. Hence why so many people are going to be buying it. It's a big fight. You know, it doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter where people say, you know, it's past that, but irrelevant. It's a big fight. A massive fight. Not a big fight, a massive fight. And it's actually a fight. If it is a good fight, I reckon they should do it again. You know, or maybe do a trilogy. Like someone was saying, Little Penny was saying, I can see them doing a trilogy. They could do. They could do. But again, that's only if it's a good fight. That's only if it's a cracking fight and, you know, it makes sense. Like, you know, it's a very close fight and then one of them gets stopped late on. Then it makes sense to do it again. You know, because it'd be big. But if it's a one-sided whooping, you know, I think if Amir wins, then I don't think there'll be a rematch. I think if Kell Brook wins, I think Kell might want it. Like, if he wins and it's a great fight and it's worth, I think Kell Brook might want to do it again. To be honest with you, because he might be thinking, you know what, I can make a lot of money here. Whereas Amir, if Amir wins, he may think, I want to move on. Do you know what I mean? I want to move on, maybe fight a Danny Garcia. I don't want to why do I give this guy a chance? I don't really like him. So I reckon if that happens, it'll probably be another one. Or if it's a close fight and Amir wins and there's a chance for them to think that we could make even more. Because at this point in their career, let's be honest, it's about making a few quid as well. You know, yeah, they want to win, but it's about, you know, maximizing what they can make. And who knows, at the end of their career, they may give us 2 or 3 fights, which, you know, we couldn't get one in their primes, and now we get 2 or 3. But it might be more exciting at this point. It's going to be a great fight regardless. It's going to be a good fight. But yeah, leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.